Not any secret these days that interval strength training or interval training is the way to go. You know, we've talked a lot about how bands work great for that. But I want to talk to you about interval training as it relates to fitness over 40. You know, when you look at interval training, I think everybody should be doing it. And I don't care what your age is. Interval training allows us to train the body the way we function all day long. Yeah, all day long we are doing quick little activities followed by rest. Quick little activities followed by rest. Sometimes the intensity is pretty high, sometimes the intensity is pretty low, but for a longer period of time. But that's the way life is. So when you look at your interval strength training program, and as you're getting into that older ages of 40 and 50, here are some things that you want to consider. Number one, your warm-up, which we've already talked about, should progress right into your workout. And what I mean by that is very often that first series or that first circuit that I do in my interval strength training is going to be a warm-up or exercises that I actually did in my warm-up. So I may have gone ahead and done some very low-level type push-up type exercises. So in my first series, I'm going to do some light push-ups, or I'm going to do some light band-assisted push-ups, followed by maybe some lighter band pulls. But my warm-up is going to utilize the first two exercises as things that I already prepared myself to do in my warm-up. Secondly, as you increase intensity, which I definitely want you to do, make sure you increase your intensity through the workout. Don't make that first set a high intensity set. Get your body's nervous system ready to tolerate high intensity. Make sure your joints and your muscles are well lubricated and elastic so they can handle those high intensities. You know, when you see me doing band sprint work, or you see me doing split jumps or some plyo jumps or some very quick explosive movements, guys, I didn't do that on my first set. I warmed my body up into that. That's probably my second or third set. Or my warm-up was super long, so I really made sure my body was ready to go. Make sure your intensity is put into the middle of the workout, not at the beginning. If you're going to go heavy resistance, same thing. You need to go ahead and bring that into the middle of the workout. You know, my first couple sets of exercises are never that heavy. I'm always going lighter. Even with bands, I might use a red band and then progress to a black band, then to a purple band. Then I finish up with a heavy green band. Then I might come back down to a black band to finish up. But however you want to do it, make sure your resistance is progressively increased as you go in through that workout or in through that round. So if you're doing a 12-set round or 12-set circuit, all right, make sure that your first two sets are at a lower resistance before you get into higher and higher resistances as you get into the 6th and 7th set of that round. All right? Make sure as we go along that I find if you're going to do time-based sets, I find higher time-based sets are better for my body now than in the past. 20-second sets, 30-second sets are okay, but I find that 40-second sets using tempo reps gives me a much better workout because my body is able to start getting into the exercise, and it takes a little bit longer for me to get my neuromuscular response time to get going. So a little bit longer set, 45 seconds, 60 seconds, but doing tempo reps seems to respond better for me. So you might find that as well, especially as you train at a little bit of an older age, all right? Now, finishers. Finishers are awesome, and I highly recommend finishers, but use smaller bands. Don't use heavy bands. Use smaller bands. Try to increase your tempo. Remember, one of the things that we're going to lose as we get older is our response time. You've just gone through a great workout. You've gone ahead and your body has really had a great workout. It's super warmed up, ready to go. Why not hit it with a finisher, but hit it with a light resistance finisher so you can really challenge your metabolic system. Therefore, you get a lot of great fat loss response and those types of things. But more importantly, you're challenging your neuromuscular response time to get better. You're training that, and you're doing it at the safest time in your workout. So finishers are great. Just make sure you take those into consideration. Hey, that's the key. Those are some of the things that I've found as I've gotten older that I need to start incorporating regularly. Let me summarize real quickly what we just went through. Number one, tempo Longer duration sets seem to be better because it allows us to teach the muscle how to respond and get working. As we get older, that sometimes is more challenging. Make sure that you put intensity into the middle of the workout, not at the beginning of the workout. Let your intensity progress up. First set or first sequence of exercises should be a little bit lower intensity, lighter resistance, and you're gradually building up your intensity either through speed or resistance. Make sure that if you're going to do some heavy sets of weights or more importantly bands, make sure you build that into the middle part of your workout. Let your body get used to it. Make sure the stabilizers of your body are ready to go when you start adding it up with that heavier resistance. Finishers, awesome. Make sure your finishers are done at the end like they should be, and make sure your resistance is appropriate. Remember, you're working on response time and excitation, getting the muscle to be quicker. All right, that's what your finisher should be about, not just overloading your body with a heavy resistance. And lastly, make sure your warm-up takes you right into your workout, so that your first set of exercises that you're doing, you actually did a variation of them in your warm-up, so it's a nice transition right into your workout. So that's the keys that I've found when it comes to interval strength training. Those are the keys that are important to making sure you're building that into your workout on a regular basis.